welcome back to the Kia Hyundai channel. My name's Gabby.
And I'm Charlotte.
And this is the 2024 Kia Sorento X-Pro, the top-of-the-line model with the beefiest towing capacity and
the beefiest tires.
We're going to give you everything you need to know about this vehicle from an exterior to interior walkthrough. We're also going to talk about performance, pricing, fuel efficiency, everything there is to know. And if you have any questions, this is a live stream video, so you can actually leave it down below in the Q&A chat, or I guess the live chat, and we can answer your questions in real time. But have no fear, if you're watching this in the future, you can still leave a comment.
Definitely are very so.
All right, and with that being said,
let's get right into it. And if you guys by any chance want to take home your very own 2024 Kia Sorento X-Pro, then we also just happen to be a real dealership located at Brantford Kia.
And
That's
this
us.
one happens to be in stock, so it is an available unit.
And is our sales team commission-based?
No, they're salary.
Ooh, nice.
Pretty cool, eh? So one thing I want to start off with is the powertrain on this vehicle. Before I actually pop the hood, Charlotte, do you want to give a pan of the front end?
I would love to.
Before it's popped open. So one thing that really strikes me on the Sorento is going to be those LED daytime running lights, or I shouldn't say LED, the daytime running lights and the LED actual headlights. In combination, the look of this vehicle, it is so sharp. It has such a great road presence, and this is what they majorly changed for the 2024 model year. It's just such a good look. So comparing it to a previous body style Sorento, it definitely has a lot more going for it, I should say, aesthetically. Now under the hood, here's one thing I definitely think the Sorento could improve upon. I would love to see a hydraulic lift because this is a pretty heavy hood.
You got it?
It is a one-person job, but me and Charlotte like to do everything together.
Yeah, we share a brain cell.
All right, under the hood, you're gonna get a 2.5-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder gasoline engine with 281 horsepower and 311 pound-feet of torque. Now, those numbers may not sound like too much, but keep in mind, this is an SUV, a family SUV, priced at $52,475 Canadian. Let me tell you, those numbers get you moving pretty quickly, and it is a really fun vehicle to drive. Put in sport mode, it has ample pickup. It's honestly a lot of fun for a sport utility vehicle that fits your family. But you can also throw it into eco mode and really get a good amount of fuel efficiency, especially on the highway. The turbocharged powertrain actually shines a little bit better on the highway for consumption than the non-turbocharged engine option. So bonus points there. When it comes to the transmission, it's an 8-speed Wet-Type dual-clutch transmission with paddle shifters. We'll show you the paddles inside. So that allows you to manually manipulate your gears if you'd like to do so to get you a little bit more of a sporty driving experience. There's also something a little bit more special about this specific trim level compared to the other Kia Sorentos. So while a lot of the other models share the same powertrain, same transmission, a lot of components, this one gives you an extra 1,000 pounds of towing capacity, and that is due to its more robust cooling capabilities. So if you are someone who is planning on towing a lot or towing the higher amount, so 4,500 pounds, definitely recommend going for this trim option. That's not the only thing that makes this vehicle really shine. Let's take a look at the front end a little closer, and then we'll take a look at the wheels, because that's one of my favorite things. Right in the very center of that blacked out grille is going to be a front camera. So Charlotte, do you want to get a little closer to the camera? Because it is a little hard to see. The way it's blended in there matches the design perfectly. It is very sleek, nicely hidden. And that's of course going to give you a live feed of whatever's happening in front of you. So while you're parking or maneuvering at a slow speed, it's going to show you everything you need to see if the sensors are picking up from the front. Speaking of sensors, let's show them. So they're located just on the black portion of our front bumper here. So regardless of your exterior paint color, this is going to be blacked out. I know it's hard to tell because we have Fusion Black
paint
here today. Not Fusion Black, Ebony Black for the Sorento here today. We're also going to get a little bit of dark chrome housing your grille, which is very nice to see. And then for the grille itself, you'll notice there's some gloss elements or gloss inserts with a little bit of a matte black piping throughout. So as we walk around the vehicle a bit more, you'll see there's a mix of matte and gloss finish. Just adds a little bit more definition, I find. Again, very hard to see on a black vehicle, but I'll try my best to point it out. Another thing you're going to get is this radar plate just underneath your license plate bracket. That is going to be utilized for a ton of different safety features, number one being your smart cruise control. So that's of course going to work with other vehicles. If they slow down, your vehicle will slow down. It'll also take you to a complete stop. So if you hit stop and go traffic, have no fear, the Sorento is here. It's also going to amplify that, incorporating highway drive assist level 2, which essentially means the vehicle is going to be navigation-based smart cruise control. So it knows the speed limit changes, it knows if there's a curve in the road, follows the curve of the road, and even does automated lane changes. It's almost a full self-drive, but it definitely needs driver attention, so it makes sure you keep your hands on the wheel, which, I mean, you should anyway. All right, let's take a look at the wheels. I'm so excited to talk about these beefy boys. These are 17-inch alloys with a beautiful all-terrain tire. And yes, all-terrain, not all season. So these, I mean, tons of grip. Lots of sidewall estate. There's a lot going on over here. Now, if we take a look into the alloy itself, you'll see, I don't think it looks small. Some people do think it looks a little funny, but I think it suits this Sorento really well. It's definitely more noticeable in a vehicle like the Telluride though, because the Telluride does have a wheel package like this. A bit of matte and some gloss as well in the wheel itself. And I just think it looks so good. So BF Goodrich AT tires, the real beefy boys.
Here's a look at them in full with the vehicle.
They're huge. We often get questions about
Back
fuel
into the
efficiency
table.
and how that's going to affect your fuel efficiency. It's rated the same. And largely for a vehicle like this, I mean, Kia rates this at, I believe, 10.3 liters per 100 kilometers combined. I'll have to fact check that once we get to the side. But you could do a lot better depending on how you like to drive, or a lot worse. Also dependent on how you drive. For our little flare over here, our fender flare, we get, again, a little bit of gloss black, a little bit of matte black, which blends in perfectly with the exterior black paint. And then, again, you wouldn't be able to tell, but we do get black accents on the mirror. But, you know,
Wow.
maybe we should have picked a different color to showcase
Love
today.
that.
There's also a side-mounted camera here, and that's going to be repeated on the left mirror as well. Essentially, that's going to give you a live feed of whatever's happening in your blind spot every time you go to indicate a turn. However, if you're parking your vehicle and operating at low speeds, that's also going to be utilized for your 360 camera view to show you what's happening on the side. If you parallel park your car a lot, you'll really appreciate this. And then when it comes to our wiper blades, Charlotte, do you want to show the wiper blades?
It's got them.
They're there.
They're there.
And they sense rain all automatically.
Wow.
Isn't that a treat? Then right in the very center of the windscreen, we do have our front camera that's going to, again, aid your radar plate in monitoring for collisions, but also it's going to watch the lanes ahead of you to make sure the car is keeping itself in the lane, and it will alert you if you start to depart and take corrective action. Furthermore, it sees what's happening in advance, so if it knows that there's a curve coming up on the road, the car will actually steer in advance for you. Yes.
Oh, sorry about that.
That's okay. All right, side profile of the vehicle, and then head around to the back. Did it say we disconnected?
Yep, I think we're back now though.
Okay, sorry about that, you guys. All right, back end of the vehicle. It may not look like anything has changed from the previous model year, but I can tell you two things that have. Number one, the taillights. They're connected now. Check that out.
Big difference.
Yeah.
Before?
Yeah.
After.
They're together. And they are LEDs, which is nice to see. The X-Pro trim didn't exist before either, so this is also something that's new. X-Pro badging, exclusive. You only get it on this trim. And then, three things. I totally lied. A camera up here, and that is not your backup camera. That is something a little bit cooler, a little bit more fun, and we'll show you that when we hop inside. Again, for the back end of the car, nice clean look. I've always liked the look of the Sorento. A more aggressive skid plate, I should say, rear skid plate. So you get, again, that dark chrome finish and then integrated rear parking sensors. When it comes to all the cameras on the car, there is 5 on the exterior, or I should say 6 because the one in the windshield. They're all very, very high definition, so much better than how we film our videos. Not that that takes a lot, but. And then this vehicle only comes with a 6-seater configuration. So you'd get 2 seats in the very third row, 2 captain's chairs in the very center, and then of course your 2 seats up front. It's very easy to configure the cabin over here, so to knock the rear seats down. Let's take it from the top. So you have the seat up like this, you pull the tether, it knocks the headrest down, and then it allows it to move freely and you can drop it down. Before I do that though, let's talk about the hot topic. There's not a lot of cargo space with this third row up. The Sorento knows that. If you are utilizing all 6 seats at the same time, you might have to have
Good luck, Charlie.
some other storage plans in mind. Now with that being said, if it's just 4 of you or even 5 of you, you still have a very good amount of seats, and it's super easy to configure because like I said, or like I just showed, those seats are really easy to knock down and bring back up. I will also point out on the right side of the trunk area, we do have our 2nd row power fold buttons. So Charlotte, do you want to knock one of them down?
Yeah.
Beauty.
I guess it didn't really show.
And it goes completely flat, which is very nice. All right, a couple more things I'll point out. We do have seatbelt hooks on the sides, so you can just tuck your seatbelts in behind there and have a much cleaner storage area. And then Charlotte will probably stack here, but in case not, here's a good view.
It's got cup holders.
Yeah, cup holders, storage pockets, USB-Cs, and we can bring the seat right back up. Another thing this car has, which is always nice to see, is a rear tire. There we go. Is a spare tire. So the kit itself is located underneath the floorboard here. Not too much usable space here, but there is a little bit of concealed area. And then the spare itself is located underneath the vehicle. So you grab your kit and then of course you can get to work. So let's close that. With the power liftgate, you can reconfigure the height to your preferred setting. So you just do that by manually moving it into place and pressing and holding your liftgate button. And then along the passenger side, we have our fuel door. So 67-liter tank for this vehicle, 10.3 liters per 100 kilometers combined, and just regular unleaded fuel. Even though it's a turbocharged engine, you only need regular. We'll do another quick look of the body of this car, and then I'll point out the door handles. Usually I do that on the other side, but it does have our digital key to touch. So a new feature for the Kia Sorento, we did not have this as an option last year. You'll see there's no button here, it's just an indent. So all you have to do is put your hand behind the handle, and as long as the key's on you, the car unlocks. When you're done driving, press on that indent, locks the car for you. Or, to take it further, you can unlock, start, and drive your car just by using your phone and share access. So pretty cool, and we have done a video on that if you're curious. But Charlotte, should we show them inside?
Yep.
Okay, let's switch.
Chris just asked if the X-Pro is the top trim, and yes, it is for Canada. Underneath it, we have the X-Line Limited, which is going to have all of the same tech and convenience features. It's not going to have the enhanced towing or cooling capabilities, and you're also going to lose out on the digital rear view mirror and some other stuff, but we got to talk about that now. That way you guys keep watching this video. Woo! All right, so let's talk about some of my favorite features that this vehicle does have, and we're going to start off with the driver's side door, of course. So I love all the details that we have, the fact that we do have some padding, so some soft touch leather here if you are a taller driver and want to rest your arm there. We still have some stitching detail, we've got some wood detail. Overall, it looks very good in this vehicle with all the chrome accents and everything working together. Some of my favorite features that we do have is we have memory seats, which you can set actually 2 per user profile, so a grand total of 4 saved seating combinations. You have power folding mirrors, which I know a lot of people really love, myself included. And for your windows, they are all obstacle detecting. They're one touch, pinch protected, whatever you want to call it. It's what they are. For a sound system, we do have a premium sound system, and we are operating with Bose audio in this vehicle, and I love it. I personally drive a Sorento, and again, I love being able to experience it when I am driving the higher trims. Water bottle, storage space, all here, nice and cozy. Sorento on our door sills, which I love. Again, just love some of the fun badging. I want to show the seating controls, and then I'll show you the seats themselves. So we actually have a lot of different ways to configure our seat, and again, I love that it can be saved because there are so many combinations. One thing I do want to point out is the fact that we do have a driver's knee extender. So if you are a tall or short driver, this vehicle is approved either way. And we also have some more sporty style pedals. Very fun.
There's a sticker on that one, but...
Yeah, sources, trust me. Trust me, they're sporty. You also have 4-way lumbar support, so no matter which way you configure it, the seat is going to hug you, it's going to hold you, and it's going to be very comfortable. I'll have Gabby show the seats themselves because they are a quilted leatherette, and they have exclusive X-Pro debossing on them, which is, again, different from what we see. The seats themselves are heated and ventilated for the driver and passenger, so again, it's comfy, it's luxurious, and it's completely adjustable. Live, laugh, love. That for us.
They're very nice.
Do you want to come around to the side?
Yeah, just got a quick question from Brave Boy Q8. What is the performance figures on this Sorento? So this features the 2.5 turbo engine with 281 horse and 311 pound-feet of torque. Furthermore, this is the only trim level of the 2024 Sorento that has 4,500 pounds of towing capacity, so 4,500 pounds. Which is quite nice. That is 1,000 more than the trim level below it. All right, let's hop in.
Hello.
Hey.
What is the passenger seat situation like?
So it's powered with lumbar support. So you get the bottom adjustment so that you can raise the seat or tilt it on an angle for whatever you like best. And then of course the backrest, recline it. And then 2-way lumbar support. Back pain, goodbye.
Yeah, back pain, goodbye. Heated seats, on.
Heated
back pain,
seats, yeah.
bye. Over here, I forgot to mention, but you do have a brightness adjuster. You also have controls for your liftgate if you want to open it and your traction control. We still have venting and everything along those lines. And first, let's just get an overview of the dash and what it looks like. I think everything looks absolutely beautiful. I love the configuration of this cabin. I love how big it feels too. And again, some of these more natural elements, pulling them in, really helps with the overall rugged exterior, bringing that the interior. So very seamless design. Steering wheel, let's talk about that. You have some contrast stitching, which is great. It's leather wrapped. It's also fully heated, which is great for Canadian winters. And you have a little bit of piano black elements, but not overwhelming. For your controls, on this side, we have our media controls, like your virtual assistant, which you can do a lot more with that than you think, like open your tailgate, set your climate control, your heated seats. You can do all of that with your virtual assistant, which is very cool. You can cycle through media modes, volume, channel surfing, all of that is pretty self-explanatory, and this button can be set as a favorite, so you just press down on it. Over here is where we're going to get into more of our driving features. So Gabby mentioned that we have Highway Drive Assist 2 on this vehicle. Also our Lane Keep Assist and Lane Following Distance are accessible from here. And this little button is going to control the center in our 12.3-inch instrument cluster, which again, absolutely beautiful. You can take a look at your specs and how the vehicle responds to you actually driving it, seeing if you do better or worse than what it's rated. Also your navigation, you can see things like your safety settings, etc. And like I said, beautiful screen right in front of us with digital speedometer, digital tachometer. Behind the steering wheel, we have paddle shifters, which again, love that, especially with an 8-speed. No, you're good.
The camera's stuck on zoom. Okay,
oh no,
there we go.
That's terrifying. And then of course, behind our steering wheel, this is all pretty standard, but wiper stock and lighting stock, everything is right there for you. On your screen, you've got your distance to empty, external temperature. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say too much for there. So let's talk about this. This is the star of the show. I am head over heels in love with this software. And this and the powertrain played a huge role in me changing from the Sportage to the Sorento. You do have navigation in-house, and you have wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which I think is a really big deal, especially with having this screen. So again, absolutely love that, and I love how responsive the screen is, and that you are able to customize it and move things around. So if you want that to be the first thing that you're able to touch, you can do so, and then you can also drop down the menu and customize it with all of these quick controls too. Some of my favorite ones, if you're a parent, are going to be passenger talk and quiet mode. Quiet mode will dampen the rear speakers, that way you can talk louder, and passenger talk is actually going to project your voice to those who may be sitting in the second and third row, that way everyone can hear you. But yeah, tons going on here. I think it's absolutely phenomenal. Love this software. What do you think?
I like it.
Thank you.
Wireless CarPlay and Android Auto, right?
Woo, woo, woo. Yep,
Did
wireless
you say that?
CarPlay and Android Auto. Absolutely.
And is it easy to reconfigure the screen?
Absolutely, it's easy to reconfigure the screen. I think I showed that.
Wow.
There you go. You can move things around. I will point out actually in setup, if you do want to adjust any of the safety features that Gabby mentioned, you can hop into driver's assistance here. It's going to give you little subcategories of all of the safety features. Just click on them. You can put it into active alert or active assist, and yeah, pretty sweet.
So this car can be as complicated or as simple as you'd like, really.
Absolutely. And speaking of, if you find this complicated and this is the first new vehicle that you're looking at, did you know that this vehicle actually has an in-house search function right here on your switchable infotainment/climate control? So if I press this, not only can I search for points of interest from my navigation, like nearest coffee shops, gas stations, but I can also search for features. So I can search for lighting, and that'll pull it up. So I can see everything that has light in it. It's going to pull it up, such as the blue light filter if I want to put that on. So really handy feature, especially if this is your first new car that you've had in a while. Now right here we do have a switchable infotainment/climate controller. So from here right now it's set to infotainment, media, favorites button, everything along those lines. Press this button and it's going to jump you into your climate controls, which is dual zone climate control. So you can set it however you see fit. Of course, if you do want to have it default to one or the other, press this down. It'll give you the option and you can pick accordingly. So again, cool to have. I love all of the customizing details. Heated and ventilated seats for myself and Gabby, as I mentioned. USB-C, which you can use for charging or connectivity. USB-C for charging. Wireless phone charger. Tons of space here too for little items that you want to stay hidden. Regular gear shift, which is leather topped. I love that. Cup holders with a slot in between. So if you have something bigger like a tablet or phone and you want to lay it horizontal, you can do so. Change spot. And then over here is going to be your drive and terrain modes. For drive modes, we have 4 different options: normal, eco, sport, and smart. They are going to change the cluster theme, the color on it, which is really cool. You can see it change in there. And they're also each going to change how the powertrain responds. Of course, if it's sporty, it's going to be a little bit more aggressive. Eco is designed for fuel economy, so it might feel like it has a little bit less pickup in it, but each of them are going to help. Smart mode is what I typically put my vehicle in because it's going to cycle between all of them and also use my driving habits to give me the best output. Terrain modes, snow, mud, and sand. Depending, of course, on which inclement weather you are in, they'll either increase or reduce wheel spin. Well, increase wheel spin or reduce wheel spin for you. And they're going to use traction control in the powertrain, of course, to do so. Heated steering wheel, idle, stop and go, parking sensors, auto hold, electronic parking brake, and your 360 camera. Put the vehicle back into accessory mode.
We did get a question about the camera, so I want to find it. You can keep going.
Okay, so this is our 360 camera. So all of those cameras on the mirror and the front and the rear of the vehicle are going to piece together this picture. It's going to look a little bit different because Gabby's got her door open, but you can also take a look at this configuration right here where it's like you're standing outside the vehicle and looking at it. So it's really cool how all the cameras work together to piece that together. I said together a lot there. And then you can also independently look at all of the different views as well. These are dynamic guidelines, so they're going to turn with the vehicle as you're turning to show you where the rear end is going to end up.
Mm-hmm. Oh, here it is. Does it have a camera if I'm driving uphill or off-road? So the camera's there. Mind you, you can only view your 360 camera during low speed, so you'd have to be under 10 kilometers per hour. So if you're on a really, 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 really rough road and you are driving that slow, you most certainly can.
One feature I just want to show that's, again, using those side cameras is when the vehicle is on and you indicate a turn, it's going to give you a live feed of what's on your blind spot, which, again, great safety just if there is, you know, someone like a cyclist or a pedestrian that can sometimes be easier to miss than another vehicle. The last camera I'll talk about is going to be your digital rear view mirror. So right now it may look like just a regular mirror, but pull that in. Got to put the car into accessory mode.
Got to turn the car on, yeah.
If it's one thing I do, it's stay humble. All right, there we go. I was like, why isn't it working? So you can actually see how clear of a view this gives you and also how wide it is. So significantly wider than what you would see from just your regular rear view mirror. So again, I think that is very cool, very interesting, and it's not like it takes away from the fact that you have a rear view mirror. It's just something designed to add to it. Now up top, if you haven't noticed, we do have a dark suede microfiber headliner, which I think looks really good. We also have a panoramic sunroof, which is absolutely massive.
Is it suede or is it microfiber?
It's suede microfiber. That's the name of it.
Interesting.
It's suede.
I love a headliner like this. I hate the fingerprints though.
Subscribe. Can you see it?
No.
Yeah, etch a sketch.
You guys can make that out. Even if you can't make it out.
Do it anyways.
Subscribe, please.
We ask you. You do have Kia Connect in this vehicle too, so if you're wondering what those are, it's your roadside assistance and emergency assistance. And look at our nice, beautiful sunroof, allowing some air conditioning to come in. Center console, decent amount of space in here. You don't have a sunglass holder, but this does work for glasses.
Beauty.
Yeah. Should we head to the back seat unless there's anything you want to add?
Show the glove box.
Glove box.
It's actually fairly deep. And then manuals. And Soren wanted to see the key.
Nice key, big key, ergonomic.
Yeah. So this key looks massive, but I swear it's still a slim profile. Fits into pockets, and then you got your remote start integrated onto the fob if you don't want to use it from the phone. And then lock, unlock, your lift gate, and your panic button. All right, let's take a look in the back.
Back seat, hey-o. Do you want to give us a breakdown for the door?
For sure. So you get integrated sunshades, which is very nice. Just tucks right back into the door itself, and it's like they're never there. Nice door handles, wood grain trim, heated rear seats with a cup holder onto
Two
the
cup
door.
holders.
Yeah, 2 cup holders. So regular cup holder here, and then a bottle holder on the bottom, and you still get that premium Bose sound system. Also,
Winning.
this is all soft touch too, which is very nice.
For
It
your
looks
armrest.
good, feels good. Very
They didn't
nice.
compromise on convenience features for the back seat, which I love. These seats, they're still quilted, they're heated like Gabby said. You have lower latch anchors, as you can see on both of these seats, and you have rear tethers as well. Some other amenities that we have back here is dual USB-Cs. We have leather pockets, we've got net pockets, we have a rear vents, which is absolute must for me in my opinion as a parent. 12-volt household inverter, which starts on the trim below. And again, we get to see carried through here, and these seats are very comfortable too. They do have armrests, so if you need one for this side too, you've got it there. And the nice thing is that they're decently easy to move forward as well. So the nice thing about having captain's chairs is with the third row is this climate control is still going to circulate relatively to the back seat despite not having any vents back there. So I would love to. I hate that for
What
us.
do we do?
Let's do this one more time. For the back seat, I'll sit back here behind the seat. You can see that this is a third row, so it's definitely more of a bonus row, and we have the step in the center, so I do have less legroom. Someone who is smaller, like a child or a smaller adult, is going to be fine back here. I wouldn't put, you know, your tallest person back here. Put them in the front, put them in the captain's chairs, they'll be fine, they'll be comfortable. Still have USB-Cs back here, still have a 12-volt, the second row seating, of course, and also we've got cup holders. So I like the configurations for the second row seating and knocking it down, that it's accessible from back here, because that's for the trunk or for the third row. But also from up here is, of course, you can pull it forward like what Gabby showed, which is nice, again, for those sitting in the back seat. But you can also do it from down below, right? Is there the button down below?
Yep.
Yeah, perfect.
And the seats recline too. So if you are sitting back here, you can have the seat at a nice angle and look out the sunroof, whatever you want.
Yeah. But that's nice because if you do have kids of various height and age, they're still able to move these seats without assistance. All right.
Should I give you this and grab the iPad?
That would be great. So we can start going through some
I may have muted Zoran
questions
for 24 hours.
Oh, for 24 hours. Wow, what a treat. Just
Yeah,
kidding.
it's
We
big
love you,
time
Zoran.
out today.
What happens when you push the folding down button but someone's sitting on it?
Do you want to do it to
Yeah.
me?
Do you want to test it? Okay. Let me turn this around. Okay. I feel
The
like it'll
seat
just...
is way forward. I think I'm gonna eat it. It's not that powerful.
No. Like you were able to pretty much
Yeah.
be okay. Do you want me to sit in the second row?
Yeah, come up here.
Okay. Let me circle this back. Oh, it's question time.
Okay. Do you want me to read them?
I would love that.
Okay.
Wow, I'm so good at YouTube. Oh my goodness.
Okay. Let's see. So we answered the off-road camera question. King Bob asked if Zoran got booted. Yes. Story just joined. Is the rear view mirror digital? Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Do you want to flip the camera because it's on right now?
Yeah.
I can show it.
There you go. Digital rear view. Woohoo.
I hate to ask a loaded question, but what are some of the main differences between the top trims of the Sorento, Telluride, and Carnival? So when it comes to feature for feature, a lot of them will have similar features. The Carnival itself has something that none of the other has, and that is number one, sliding doors. So it is a van configuration. It's also going to have the most storage space as well too. So you can actually have every single seat in the house full and still have a ton of usable cargo space.
Definitely.
The other vehicles, they're SUVs, they just don't have that kind of room, but they do have their own perks. The Telluride, for example, it's huge. It's all-wheel drive. It has a V6 engine. It has the good amount of towing capacity. It's a little bit more luxurious, I would say, for sure. And then the Sorento is more fun. It's more sporty, but it's definitely smaller. So if you do have a full house, every single seat's taken up, then you can see we don't have a lot of usable cargo space in the back. But it really comes down to your lifestyle. Drive them all.
I was going to say, like, the biggest thing I would probably compare would be the powertrain, whether or not it's going to be all-wheel drive, front-wheel drive, and then also how many seats per cargo space do you need.
Yep. And as of right now, you can get the Sorento and the Carnival as a hybrid. You cannot get the Telluride as a hybrid. So if that's important to you, check that out.
Abe said, now that Zoran's gone, am I the most pathetic person in the chat?
If the shoe fits.
Abe, I'm not even going to lie. I saw that you commented my name, and I didn't even know that you knew my name today. So,
Brave
There we
Boy
go.
said, what's the top speed of the Ioniq 5 and the newest one? So it is rated for 260 kilometers per hour.
woo!
And then it's 0 to 100 times 3.4 seconds when you have the N-Grin boost on. Let's see, if I have a lease finishing in 2 years, should I go ahead and make a deposit for a car that has a long wait list? I would say yes. We're currently still facing those issues with things like the Sorento PHEV and the Sportage PHEV. Those are all cars that are very, very hard to get, and we have people that are around that timeline for sure.
If there's any info on the Kia Tasman, I just saw that. Nothing for Canada that we've gotten.
Any news on the 2024 hybrid model? So for the Kia Sorento, there will be no 2024 hybrids. They're all going to be moved to 2025. So that's when you'll see the refreshed look and the new software for the hybrid. I feel like the Carnival is a no-brainer if you have a family, over a family of 5. Absolutely.
I think so.
I will say, yeah, if you need that space, you need a van.
Because with having a family comes a lot of extra equipment too. Of course, depending on the age of your kids, but yeah.
Hey Kia Hyundai channel, when is the next Tucson coming to you guys? Is it coming to your studio? We would love to know. So we do have
Wonderful
some
question.
Tucsons at our Brantford Hyundai dealership, but none of the 2025. So
Yeah.
we've kind of been putting
In a holding
off.
pattern.
Yeah, we've been not wanting to film them because we're waiting for the 25s. But
It should be here soon-ish, but nothing has been communicated to us as far as actual date.
Jay Chan asked, can you get the X-Line/X-Pro with the Sorento hybrid or PHEV models? You cannot. For a PHEV, you can only get EX or SX. And yeah, so they definitely have a bit more of a sleek look to them, where these ones do look a little bit more, I would say they have more road presence. I hate using the word rugged. We say it like
Rugged,
20 times a video.
People are like, what's rugged? We're like, yeah, good question.
Great question. Ballard Trucking said, how about that truck? What truck? The Tasman?
Tasman, this one.
Nothing official in the Tasman yet.
What are the height measurements from floor to ceiling of the Carnival 2025? Once the back seats, I don't have them off the top of my head.
No,
Unfortunately,
that'd be crazy if we did.
Yeah, unfortunately, our 25 Carnival has been delivered, so
Waiting for our next
we're
one?
waiting for our next one, and then we'll let you know.
Mm-hmm. I want to ask Charlotte if she finds the Sorento more useful than the Sportage.
Do I find it more useful? I've only been driving it for a shorter amount of time, so I
feel
don't
like your
know.
lifestyle is a little different too, because like,
With the Sorento?
well, with either, like both
Yeah.
of them work for your life.
Yes, and like we were talking about this today, it's more expensive to maintain the Sorento as far as gas. Obviously, it does have a larger fuel tank, so it costs more to fill up, so that's been a disadvantage of it versus the Sportage. Now, I don't have every seat of my vehicle full. I could definitely do even with the sedan, if I'm being completely honest. We just don't demo those. Yeah, I don't know, truthfully. I don't know, I haven't done an accurate assessment of it yet. Give me more time.
Chris also asked thoughts on the Toyota Land Cruiser. I think it's wicked.
Mm-hmm.
That is a cool machine.
Mm-hmm. I do too.
I'm not a big Toyota person, I'll say that. Okay.
Oof.
Can I get a good old hi? Hello.
Hello.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
Please do a Mars Orange vehicle. Can't get out to see one in person at the moment, and we would love to see one. So we actually don't have Mars Orange anymore. It's called Lunar Orange. We have it on the Seltos, and that's the closest color we have.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, we don't have one here. If you search our videos, though, we should definitely have. We should have shot it a couple times. TRD RAV4 said 4Runner baby. Okay, I can get behind a 4Runner, that's for sure. Or a Tacoma.
Yeah.
Or a GR Supra. Okay, there's a couple. Let's see. I don't know. Yeah. Any questions you want to answer, Char?
No, I think there was a couple asking about wait times, which I don't think we quite have yet.
For Sorentos?
Yeah.
Sorentos, we have a few in stock. So you can
Sorry, Sportage.
Oh,
I was looking at.
Sportage.
That's a Sportage. When does the 25 Kia Sportage come out?
2025 Kia Sportage?
Yeah.
Well, that's going to be a carryover.
Carryover model, yeah.
So I would assume probably in the next few months we should get the switch over. That's probably when all of our cars are going to slowly move over to their next
25,
year.
yeah.
I will say, for a lot of our cars, there's no major changes for 2025. We should be getting a 2025 K4 soon.
In the fourth quarter, beginning of fourth quarter.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing is probably the Carnival.
Yeah.
Carnival got the facelift this year, so.
Carnival.
And then K4 is a new entrant, but
EV6 eventually.
EV6 for
Next year?
2025 model? No, 26 model year. Yeah.
K4 exciting. Is the K4
Very
your
much.
next car, Gabby, or is it going to be a Porsche? Well, I mean, it's more likely going to be a K4. I'll say that. Stefan said past the 30-minute mark. Okay, well, I guess
we gotta go.
That's our cue. See
Bye.
y'all. Thank you guys for. Oh,
I was literally gonna end it.
okay. I was gonna say thank you guys for watching. Leave a like if you made it this far, or if you didn't make it this far, just
Like anyways.
please leave a like anyway. We need it. Thank